I'm here with Clint Gorman of Uncut Standards. Thanks so much for hopping on with me.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Of course. So, why don't we just start with your journey? How did you get to where you are now? Walk us through your journey with Uncut Standards.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. I started as a hobby. I had a huge mustache. As you can see, I'm currently growing it back.
Yeah,
So,
you're working on it again, which I'm excited. You guys, you need to see this. It's just beautiful what he does with his
yeah,
facial hair. So, sorry, continue.
handlebar mustache. So,
Yeah, a thing
yeah,
of
so
beauty.
I started as just brewing my own mustache wax because
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of these companies had kind of put this concoction together that I couldn't even pronounce the ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't really want to put it on my face. So I figured, why not make my own mustache wax?
Yeah.
So I started with that, and then it just kind of grew into this beard shaving line that we have now, and everything's organic and it's a good cause. So yeah, it's been
That's
fun.
awesome. So, what's your favorite part about working with Uncut Standards? What's your favorite part of the job?
I think just meeting the people that have facial hair or that need to shave and like want to talk about it and they're like openly talking about it. It's a blast to deal with people, honestly.
So, do you find that there's a community kind of forming around facial hair? Is that a thing? There's a
It's
facial hair
definitely
community.
it's definitely in nowadays. So I
Yeah.
think the bearded man is and the rugged look is back and
Right. Amen. Amen. Look at
it's
this
looking
thing.
good.
Thank you. Thank you. So, does this meet your uncut standards? This
It's a very
this beard
uncut
here.
standard. That's
That's
good.
that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Your journey as an entrepreneur, what's been the hardest part for you? What's been the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur?
I'd have to say trying to figure out my place in all of this.
Hmm.
Leading a company that started from nothing. How do you go about bringing on team members and
Yeah.
like what does that look like for you? And I don't go to business school, so I've never learned how to start a business from the ground up. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always worked in like companies that have been 50 years, 100 years old, and
Yeah.
it already has processes in place, and I can just kind of add to the solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we have to create the equation to make the solution. So
Right.
that's been the toughest part for sure.
For
Finding out what
sure.
works, and then how do we play a part in that and make a difference at the same time.
Yeah. So, what gave you the courage to actually pursue this passion of yours, this newfound passion, and to actually make the leap into doing this as a career?
Yeah, so I have a lot of hobbies in life. And so I was like, well, I don't need another hobby, certainly, right? So when I first started making my wax, I noticed that a couple of my friends had mustaches and they wanted to buy it. And I wasn't currently working, I was a full-time student. So
Mm-hmm.
I had that need to feel like I needed to work. And so I went about it as a full-on business plan. I said, you know what, if I'm going to make this if I'm going to put this hour, a couple hours per week into this, I need it to be serious.
Yeah.
So I started, and then I met my partner now, so co-owner, and he was just as jazzed that I was. So he was excited. So we just kind of ran for it, and it's been I don't know, it's been crazy. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep hearing this from a few different entrepreneurs that a lot of people actually start their businesses almost accidentally. They're doing something, they find a need, they start doing something about it mostly for themselves, and
yeah.
all of a sudden it turns into something. When did you know that it was something that you actually wanted to pursue?
I think so. When I started making wax, I noticed that not everyone has a mustache that curls, right? So
Right.
that's kind of a distinct thing. It's really rare.
Okay,
So,
so mine may not even be able
well,
to.
you can, but like
Okay.
some people can't grow that thick of facial hair on their lip,
Wow,
right?
wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm thankful, dude.
you could definitely curl that.
Okay, I might have to one of
You,
these days. I think
see, look at
Natalie
that.
would love this. Oh
I'll
my
send you
goodness.
I'll send you some wax, dude.
Dude, I need to curl this thing. That is powerful. Well,
Some people never even think about it, right?
absolutely. Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah, you're
This,
welcome.
you've changed my life.
So then I started talking to Carlos, my partner, and he was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about making stuff for beards?" And I was like, "I mean, I could try it, so why not?" So I tried and I made Beard Balm, and it was like a huge hit, and it
Yeah,
started selling off the shelves. So that is when it kind of caught fire, and
yeah.
then we started moving into the shaving community, and we're starting to get into the pomade group. So
Mm-hmm.
it's why does it have to stop just at mustache? So
Yeah. Let's take care of every man's face. I like it.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. What would you say is one of the biggest things that holds people back from actually pursuing the dreams that are on their heart? What are the obstacles? What are the roadblocks for them?
I think a lot of people are afraid to take the risk financially
Hmm.
and socially too,
Yeah.
because you have to back your brand 100% if you want to be successful.
Right.
And nowadays, there's so many more failed startups than successful startups. So the
Hmm.
odds really are stacked against you. It's
Yeah.
really easy to start a company, but it's hard to maintain a company and grow a company,
Right.
right? So scaling is like a huge aspect that people, I think, are afraid of.
Right.
It gets over their head. How do you bring someone in to help and delegate that, your day-to-day task to that person?
Well, and even being willing to ask for the help, knowing that you don't know what you're doing out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Having smarter people in the room than you are is a tough and humbling experience, but it's a necessary experience if you want to be a successful CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving from that stage of just starting to actually thriving, what do you think actually crosses that threshold? Because I know a lot of people watching this are going to be entrepreneurs that have started something or want to start something, but know that that next step is the hard one. What do you think bridges that gap of, I really haven't been here before and I want to get there?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are afraid of getting coaching
Mm,
or mentors. And so bringing someone in that has more experience than you is a key aspect,
yeah.
and formulating a proper foundation group. So
Hmm.
you have to hit all tiers of a business structure to successfully, grow to the top. So I
Yeah.
think formulating a good team in the beginning is like gold. That
Yeah.
is the foundation sets the whole thing for the building. So
Yeah, I love it. I
yeah,
love it. So where do you want to see Uncut Standards go? What are your dreams? What do you want to see?
I mean, I want to set a legacy for men to empower and lead by example.
Hmm.
I want to make change through people's facial hair and through
Right.
shaving and giving back to communities and donating and leave a legacy that actually matters,
Right.
and don't get lost in the corporate grind and just to make money. I mean, we're only on this earth once, right? So
Yeah.
might as well make an impact.
So the product then is just a vehicle. It's the how, it's the method of exchange, and it's fantastic. But it isn't really the point. Impact is the point for you.
Right. I could always go out and get a job. I'm in engineering school right now,
Hmm.
so I could get a job after this,
Hmm.
getting paid pretty well, but I want to actually make a difference. And
Yeah.
so this is just a vehicle to get in front of people, get talking to people,
Hmm.
start a movement that actually makes a difference in the community.
All right.
Yeah.
So, an entrepreneur that has an idea, how do they get started? How do they even get to ground one? Because, I mean, some people are stuck at that spot. Forget about going to the next level. They're saying, I don't even know how to start. I have this idea. I'm passionate about it. How do I get there? How do I even get going?
I'd say start with a whiteboard and a pen and start with a product that is actually going to be useful to people,
Hmm.
and not something that, I mean, you could make another brand of scissors. That's great, but like, what are your scissors going to do different than all the other scissors out there?
Right. How are you changing the game?
Is there a need for your product?
Yeah.
And then you want to niche yourself so that way, yeah, like if you're in the shaving community, for me, I want to niche myself in the shave gel and
Hmm.
shaving communities to the point where I don't have to I don't have to go outside of that to find my buyers, right?
Yeah.
And so I target people with facial hair and without. And so
Hmm.
that's pretty much everyone, right?
Right. Yeah.
So other than women.
Right.
And that's an easy aspect for me. I niched myself in the shaving and the beard growing community.
Yeah.
So if you're and then you got to come up with a clever name
Hmm.
and something that's easy to spell and something that doesn't get confused with other brands, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say start with that and then formulate a good team that has passion over talent.
Hmm.
You can't teach passion, but you can
Right.
teach talent.
Right. That's
Yeah.
well said. That's very well said. All right. What is your favorite movie of all time, Clint?
Oh man,
Or even favorite movie recently?
I would have to say, um, I mean, the whole Harry Potter series, dude.
Okay, you're a big
Yeah.
Harry Potter fan, huh?
I'd have to go there.
Wow. Okay, favorite Harry Potter movie out of all of them?
Definitely the Sorcerer's Stone for sure.
Sorcerer's Stone. What do you love about it?
I just love that it was one of the first books, and I think the adventures that happen within the book is insane, and they depicted it pretty well for the movie. You always
Yeah.
lose some like ins and outs and stuff. So
Yeah, I felt
I
that
think
way
they
with
did.
Lord of the Rings. They cut out Tom Bombadil, nerdy fact, but he's an entire chapter in the Lord of the Rings, and they just
Oh,
cut him out
totally.
of the movies. Anyway, infuriating.
I'm
Uh,
a also Black Hawk Down is a huge
okay,
military. So
yeah.
yeah.
So, do you relate to Harry Potter? Do you feel like he and you are kindred souls, in some way?
I don't have a secret wand in
No,
my suitcase. No,
no, okay, not like
I I
got
sprinkle pixie dust into the beard balm, so when you
right.
buy it, it'll be perfect.
Okay,
Just
that's it. So
just
there's
for
a
your
little bit
face.
of magic on there. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Marriage advice. You've been married a couple years now. How long have you been married now?
1.5.
One
Yeah.
and a half. Wow, I love it. Time's flying. Give us
Yeah.
some marriage advice for the people that are thinking they're about to get married or engaged right now. You're a year and a half into this thing. What do we need to know?
Yeah. I would say my number one advice fact would be
Fact. I like it. Yeah.
this is a fact because it pays forward for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Uplift your wife over everything.
Hmm.
Whatever you say to her is just think there's someone recording everything that you say, and make sure that your tongue is pure when you speak to her and honest
Yeah.
and heartfelt, but know that she is part of your body now too. You're supposed to become one, right? So how would you speak to yourself, and how
Yeah.
would you treat yourself? So treat her
Yeah.
as your temple for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's deep, man.
that's deep.
That's really deep, dude.
That's a year and a half right there.
That's a year and a half. You know some stuff about stuff, man. How about a quote, something, a saying that you live by or that has inspired you on the journey?
One of my favorite quotes is a calm sea never made a skillful sailor.
Yeah.
And so, we always pray for like just an easy life and just really relaxed, and but that doesn't really build your skills as you grow older. If I never did anything throughout my life, then how would I be good at anything?
Right.
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 So yeah,
That's awesome.
love it.
Clint, thanks for making the time. This has been awesome. Keep doing the great work that you're doing with Uncut Standards, and you're keeping my beard looking phenomenal. You guys can get a close up of this thing.
Looks amazing.
Just look at this. I mean, God did a lot to put this on my face, but the rest is Uncut Standards. So
There you go.
thankful for you. Thanks for making the time. Take care.
Thanks, Justin.